But also with that improved circulation, we have the yucca absorbing the ammonia in the intestinal tract. Ammonia displaces oxygen, and now if we absorb that ammonia, we're going to have more oxygen in the bloodstream. You're going to have more oxygen to the brain. So you're going to have more focus along with that. And those are the two things that I think are key to increasing that your stamina and performance.
The one comment I would make, I've been using this stuff for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a bad stool. I haven't had a dog to the vet. They seem to be, and I'm in Texas where it's been 104 degrees average for the last 2 months. They can handle that a lot better, and they just seem like they're just healthier.
What happens with the stool is that one, we put the digestive enzymes. When people talk about having a loose stool, they'll make the comment that it ran right through them. Well, that's a perfect example, or is perfectly right on what they're saying, is that the faster something moves through, the looser the stool is going to be, okay? So we're using digestive enzymes, we're using probiotics to improve the digestion, and when you take more nutrients out of the dog food, things are going to move slower, okay, and you're going to have a more consistent stool. People will say, well, maybe I'm going to get constipated. Well, that's not what's going to happen. You're just really going to have a more consistent stool because you're taking more nutrients out. You're going to have a healthier flora, and you're going to have a solid stool. So
the grain.
Right. Okay.
Start there.
Yep. A lot of people will make the comment that my dog has grain allergies or across-the-board grain allergies. Well, a dog can be allergic to corn or they can be allergic to oats, but they're not going to have what you call across-the-board grain allergies, okay? Normally when people say that, what they really have is they have a candida problem, okay? And it's the grain sugars that are going down there and aggravating that candida, okay? So then what happens? Okay, now all of a sudden you have ear infections, you have tearing, you have the orange on the mouth, in between the toes, itching, licking, and it looks like an allergy, okay? But really what you have is a candida infection, okay? If you have good, healthy lactobacillus in the intestinal tract, the lactobacillus is going to use those sugars and create lactic acid that's going to keep candida knocked down. So by going to a grain-free, what you're really doing is you're just trying to starve the candida, but you're not necessarily getting the good, healthy lactobacillus along with that. So when you're using Flexx or Phytovite, you're going to put that healthy lactobacillus in there, and that's going to prevent a lot of that itching and scratching and ear infections and tearing, that sort of thing. So one person say to me, he goes, when people talk about the wet dog smell, he goes, that's a misnomer. He goes, you smell this dog. This dog doesn't smell at all. This dog has not had a bath. You get down there, you're not going to smell anything, okay? What that is, when you smell that odor, that's yeast and candida, okay? I went to a vet clinic, and there was a dog that had a hair coat issue problem, okay? And when they went out the door, the vet tech, I asked them, I said, what's up with that dog? And they said, we don't know, he's just had these allergies since he had his leg work done. My first thought is they probably gave the dog an antibiotic or some other drug, okay, that basically threw the flora off. The flora, you got to remember, lactobacillus is easily thrown off. It's Sunday and your dog food store is closed and you ran out of dog food, so you go and you buy a different dog food, okay? All of a sudden, because your dog is itching, you think your dog is allergic to that new dog food, okay? Well, it's really more of a problem that you switched the dog foods too quickly, not that something in there was allergic to your dog. The flora is expecting a certain something to come down there. When you change it too quickly, you're going to throw the flora off. you're going to have an overrun of yeast and candida. The dog is going to start itching.